Namaste, beautiful souls and Venus lovers everywhere. This is Dr. Danny. This video is a long time coming. I need to share some things with you guys, and I want to talk to you about Venus in retrograde. And I also want to talk about my personal story about Venus. And I also want to work with you guys. If you are interested in leveling up your Venus energy, your creative energy, then I really want you to listen to this story. Okay. Um, so, first, what I want to do is I know I'm all business today. I'm doing good. I hope you guys are too. Hope you're enjoying the summer and this weekend. I'm going to share my screen with you, and we're going to get into just some information that will help sort of preface the discussion we're about to have, and then also give you all some background as to why we're doing what we're doing. Okay. So, the first thing I want to show you is the orbit of Venus. And I want to show this to you from Earth's perspective. This is astronomy and astrology combined. We're looking at how the planets are moving overhead and how that energy affects us here down on Earth, as above, so below. Okay. So this is done with microstation orbit, and basically they put in the parameters of the orbits of the Earth around the sun and Venus around the sun, but they take the perspective from Earth. This is a real quick video. This is Venus, this is the sun, this is Earth, and this is what we see. Okay, watch this pattern. See when Venus comes right here between the sun and the Earth? That's what's called a Venus star point. Each one of these loops is called a retrograde loop. Okay, so this is a Venus in retrograde, and we are about to enter this time frame in just a few days. Okay, so let's watch the rest of it. So there is a superior conjunction. Venus goes retrograde. Inferior conjunction, star point occur. Earth takes 8 years to complete this pattern that you're going to see. There's another star point. And one more star point after this one. And then here you see it. Okay, so it takes Earth 8 years to create this 5-pointed star in the sky. It takes Venus 13 orbits or 13 Venus years to complete this pattern. So you have 5, you have 8, and you have 13. Guys, these 3 numbers are part of what's called the Fibonacci sequence. And the Fibonacci sequence is a series of numbers where the next number adds the last 2 numbers. But what you get when you plot that out geometrically is a spiral. What you also get if you divide one number by the other is you get the golden ratio, which is the Vesuvian man that you see that they created, where all the proportions are these certain numbers, the golden ratio. A seashell that spirals encodes the golden ratio. Flowers, you see it everywhere. Okay, so there's something very special between the relative orbits of Venus and Earth. And so this is why I'm studying Venus. This is why I want to help you guys understand your own personal Venus. So I hope that made sense. This is really a great video. The next thing I want to show you is the actual sky or the actual space in our solar system. So this is approximately right now. And what you just saw with that video is, let me zoom out. Sorry, guys. What you just saw with this video, camera lock to Earth, unlock. There we go. Okay, so now we can move it around a little bit. So let's move up in dates here. What you're going to see is Venus moving between the Earth and the sun. This is that loop, that point that we saw right here. Okay. And this is coming up. Now, the actual retrograde period starts on July 22nd, which is about 2 weeks from now. Okay. And retrograde energy in astrology is very different than direct energy. Sometimes when we think of retrograde planets, a lot of people think of Mercury in retrograde, right? And they go, oh my God, Mercury's in Gatorade. We're all going to die, blah, blah, blah. The same kind of tough energy can come at us with Venus. It's just that it's not as frequent. And so we don't tend to recognize when that energy can trip us up. Okay. So there's that. I wanted you guys to see it from that bird's eye view. So you see it from Earth's perspective, you see it from the bird's eye view. Now we're going to actually look at it in the sky. So let me reload this. I had it all set up for you. Here we go. Here is the sky. Okay, we're going to zoom into that. And this is right about now, but let's watch the dates. Let's move the dates forward. Venus is pretty much slowing down. And by the time the 22nd gets here, she's going to be straight up retrograde. So this isn't too far away. You guys seeing this? So now Venus is retrograde, approaching the sun. She's even going to dip back into Cancer a little bit towards the end of August. And at this point, we won't be able to see her. Venus will be invisible to us. She'll disappear for, I want to say about 2 weeks. So it'll seem like our Venus energy isn't available, that it actually isn't there. And that scared a lot of astrologers. It scared a lot of ancient people. But if we look at this, we know she's not disappearing. She's coming right at us. So very powerful energy related to Venus is going to be available to us. And this isn't available all that often, you guys. These star points, these retrograde periods happen about every 20 months. So it's a very long period between it. And it's a very large cycle, but it's a cycle of death, rebirth, and ascension. It's a cycle of creation. It's a cycle of love. It's everything that the Venus energy speaks to us in mythology and in energy. So I want to, another thing I want to do, I did say that I wanted to share some personal, I guess now's probably a good time as I need to do it. I'm not a big sharer, you guys, but I feel like if I share these personal stories with you, maybe you'll understand why I'm reaching out to you and why I want to help you work through this time period. So this is the height of the Venus retrograde that we're going to enter into in just a few weeks. So here you can see the energy, right? You got Venus and the sun conjunct in Leo. Venus is retrograde. We have trining the galactic center. We have energy trining Chiron. We have this energy squaring on Jupiter. The next video that I'm going to do with Venus retrograde transits, I will include all of this information in there. So I'm not going to go too deeply into the astrology. I mostly just wanted to give you the energy and talk to you about it. Now, Venus star points, they happen about every 20 months, like I said, but they only happen in the same constellation every 8 years. So the last Leo Venus retrograde was 8 years ago in 2015. I wanted to show you my chart. Here's my Venus hanging out in Gemini in my second house, conjunct the star Sirius as well as Saturn. So this is my teacher energy. This is my Seshat right here. It's the Egyptian goddess who taught Thoth and those guys everything they know. So for me, in this time in my life, I'm channeling through the energy of the teacher, of how to take the knowledge and turn it into practical energy to help us evolve. So that's basically my work with Venus in the second house. And I've got Jupiter up here that's helping me to show myself in the public and to make this information available. My North Node is in the galactic center, right there with Ophiuchus. So I feel very connected to the ascension energies, the ability to transcend this plane and to evolve beyond the karmic loop of being reborn without any memory, right? So my mission, I feel like, is to teach this information so that we can all access this, because there is a new energy, a new earth, a new paradigm shift, the age of Aquarius, whatever you want to call it. It's just on the horizon. And to be able to think in terms of energy and spiritual concepts and mysticism, I think is really exciting, because there's a lot of energy technology that we have access to that we didn't know we had access to. And I think understanding our astrology can help us access that. All right, so I went a little tangent there because I'm kind of delaying the personal story. So let's go. So the last Leo retrograde Venus was in 2015, in August of 2015. So here is what's called a Sinistrator chart, where you have my chart on the inside, so you can see my Jupiter, my Venus, my North Node right here. And then on the outer wheel is 2015. Okay, so the outer wheel, here's my Venus and my Saturn. Here is the, let me zoom out a little so you guys can see that better. I can't do that. Okay, I would like to close this, but at any rate, you can see down here in Leo, Sun, Venus in a star point. So what does this mean for me? So this Leo spans my third and fourth house. So the retrograde energy affected me in my third and my fourth house, as well as my my second house, my seventh house, my Libra, and my Taurus. Okay. I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to get into any astrology, but let me just tell you what happened. My I went through my life with a very different perspective of my mother. She was someone who worked very, very hard in her life, and I have the utmost respect for her, but wasn't really a very touchy-feely mother, right? Like she didn't hug a lot. She was always very busy, always very, into this is what we're going to do next, and this is how we're going to do it. So that year, she lost her job. I'm not going to go into those specifics because that's her personal business, but she went through a very, very tough time, a time that affected everyone in our family. It was powerfully horrible. Okay. And the consequence of that changed the way that I perceived my mother. So I used to think that she was this untouchable person. I put her on a pedestal. I was always trying to please her, to make her love me, for who I was. I never quite felt good enough, you know? And to see her go what she went through with like this superhuman grace and gratitude. I mean, literally all she had was her faith and a few books. And she made it through, you know? And so my perception of her changed from, someone who I can't even reach to this imperfect human, just like the rest of us, doing the best with what she had. And so that changed our relationship for the better. Like I feel like I finally have that mother that I can emotionally connect to. So third and fourth house connection is third house, fourth house is mother, right? So all this happened for me 8 years ago. Now, 8 years ago, I was not into astrology like I am right now. I kind of dabbled with it on the side, but I never really understood the spiritual impact that some of these energies can have on you. Okay, so that's just one story, right? 2007 was another story. Now my life isn't all tragic stories, but the big ones that I remember kind of happened around this time frame. Here's another one. So this is 2007 right here. 2007, once again, this looks like it's like a Cancer energy right here, but going through Leo. The whole retrograde goes through Leo. Okay, I was in medical school at the time. I think I was in between my third and fourth year of medical school. I'd been married probably about 9 years, and the relationship with my husband went through a really rough patch. Uh, we had some issues with trust. We had some issues with infidelity. We had some issues of how we perceived one another, like how we were supposed to be versus how we really are. And that was a really tough time too, because third house communication. How do you convey your truth? How do you tell your partner your deepest energies? How do you share that? And have that honest communication result in something that you both love, that you both want. So yeah, I got knocked off my base there on that one too with fourth house, like, because that relationship was my home. And good news is we're still together after 25 years. We figured out how to work through some of this stuff. See, I'm getting choked up. It's hard to talk about these things, but look, it was the same energy. It was Venus in retrograde. So I guess I just wanted to share this with you because there's another one of these energies coming in Leo. You know, there won't be another one for another 20 months or so in 2025. And it's going to be in the constellation of Pisces. So it's going to be a completely different energy. And I want you guys to connect with me on this one so we can go through this journey together and go through each star point and each phase of Venus energy and find out what that means for us. Because I feel like you guys, Venus energy might be the key to a whole different kind of manifestation. I'm not talking about, you get the idea and then you do it and then, you manifest. This is a birthright kind of manifestation where literally all you have to do is be who you are. You don't have to strive for anything. You don't have to um, work really hard. Basically, when you're being who you're supposed to be in your truest, authentic energy, things come to you. You manifest with thinking. All right. And everything that I've been reading about Venus, this is absolutely possible. Um, I, don't get me wrong, I'm no expert on it. This is my journey, and I want you guys to come with me on this. All right. So here's what I want to offer you all. Oh, by the way, before I do that, please go to Venus Transits in Leo Part 1. This takes you from the moment she enters the constellation right up to the retrograde point, which is coming up in 2 weeks, July 22nd. And that's when she goes retrograde. I will have a transits video for you with a lot more astrology right around that week. Okay. But I do want you to check it out because I do talk a lot about Venus and Leo, what that means. I relate it to the ancient myth of Sekhmet and Thoth and the sun god Ra. It's really a beautiful story. So do check that video out. You can go, I'll leave a link for this below. It's actually 2 videos ago, so do check it out. Also, if you guys just want to keep following my journey, go to my Facebook page, Dr. Danny, Physician Astrologer. I post everything. I post memes. I post teachings. This is all here. Come and follow my page so you can come on this journey with me. Okay. And then I want to take you to my website, drdani.com, 13 sign astrology. You want to go here because we're using the actual sky in this energy. That if we know where the actual constellations are, we know how the cosmos wants us to pull in certain energies. If we use the calendar system where everything's the same degrees, you're not really cosmically aligned. It's fine if you want to do that, but I'm talking about a spiritual evolution here, an ability to become a better human. And I think if you're looking at the sky, that's the key to do it. Okay. I have a free chart calculator here, sponsored by Mastering the Zodiac. So you just click this link here. You can also join our Facebook page, The Sidereal Revolution, and then you can look up your sun sign right here. I also have a nice sun moon rising report. Okay. So that part's done. Here's the part I'm really excited about, because this will enable you guys to come on this journey with me. I already have probably 24 people that are part of this with me. And I want this to get bigger because I want to do, one-on-one with you guys. I want to do group lessons, teach you all how to read Venus, that sort of thing. So here's the story. I'm going to leave this link in the comments and in the description of this video. I want you guys to go to this, read this. This is a little bit of my personal story. And I didn't go into it, but 24 years ago and 32 years ago, there were some things in my life that happened when Venus was once again retrograde. But again, it's every 8 years. So think back in your own life. Do me that favor and at least ponder what happened to me 8 years ago. Is there anything significant? And if there was, go back 16 years. And if you're old enough, go back 24 years and just see what energies came up for you, what kind of frequencies were going on in your life, because that energy is coming again. It's coming again in 13 days. So please go check out this website. Um, this is my Venus retrograde level up package. Now, the Venus Star Point report, some of you have already done that. These are a lot of fun for me to make. I really enjoy reading y'all's energy. There's so many different ways Venus can be expressed. This is part of the package. You can still order it separately after the 22nd. I'm not going to be offering this report. They're actually so popular that they take a little bit of time for me to create, and you need time to get ready for this energy. So after the 22nd, they will not be available anymore as a separate thing, but you can order them separately for now for $33. Okay. Then I do a recording for you. Now, this recording is going to cover the whole span of the retrograde from 7/22 to 9/4. And during this recording, I'm going to go over your personal Venus. We're going to look at where she is, what house, what's aspecting her in your natal chart, what's in her ruling constellations and houses. And then I'm going to give you kind of an idea of what your Venus power is. Like, what is that energy? Like, I'm the teacher manifester. That's my Venus energy. But I've also read for people where their Venus energy is more of like the Yin, like the compassionate goddess. I've also read people's energy where they're like an elemental sorceress. So there's all kinds of different ways that Venus can manifest energetically for you. So I'll read that as part of your recording. Then we also will go through the what the transiting planets are doing to your natal Venus and what the transiting Venus is doing to your natal planet. So all that's in there, and it's the entire span of the retrograde period. Then I will also give you a little bit of a little bit more of a detailed reading for the actual Venus star point, which is August 13th. Okay, you can do this separately for $144 if you don't want a report. But this whole package, if you purchase this together, you will also get a follow-up call with me. Now, this will occur in September after Venus stations direct again, after we've gone through all this energy. I want to download with you guys how it went for you. What happened? Did you feel empowered? Did you feel like you were knocked off your base based on wherever your Venus power is? Now, this hour-long call is usually $97, and I'm putting this in this package because I feel like if you've got your report in front of you, and then you listen to a 45-minute to an hour recording of me giving you all of your Venus information, then you've got the tools you need to get through this retrograde period. And then afterwards, we can download together and talk about it. Okay. So I've been working like crazy over the weekend to get this offer together for you guys. It literally comes from my heart. And I want you all to at least consider it. Okay, you guys. So that's all I have for you today. This is the Venus retrograde level up package. Please consider checking it out. All the links are below. I've got a nice video about the new moon coming out in just a few days. And then, of course, at the end of next week, you will get the collective Venus retrograde report. So like this video, subscribe to my channel. And until next time, namaste, guys. Thank you.